Hello and welcome or welcome back to my channel. My name is Chris and on today's video we're talking about a fragrance from the house of Chanel. So on today's video I have one of the Les Eaux fragrances, and this range is very much dedicated to locations that were significant to the house of Chanel or to Chanel's history. The fragrance we're talking about today is Biarritz, and it's actually named Paris-Biarritz. And this fragrance is obviously named from the coastal town of Biarritz in France, and it is essentially a very kind of like the Hamptons, if you will. It's a beachy, vacationy type of spot, and it's very much known, or at least was very much known, I don't know if that's the case anymore, for attracting the aristocratic people. So here is the box that we have here, and I'm going to be critical of Chanel's packaging, as I always am, because I just don't like their packaging, quite frankly. But this one might be different. So this is what the box looks like. It's a very light unicard board. It feels like it has no plastic in it, which might be a good thing for recycling purposes. On the back you get the information, and it's almost not legible. You almost cannot read that. It's indented in there. And at the bottom you get your barcode. At the top you get the CCs. It's a very light cardboard. This might be recycled material. I don't know. I mean, with a fragrance like this, would you actually keep the box? I mean, I will, because I'm a collector of sorts, but will most people keep the box? Probably not. So I do see why they kind of went through a packaging like this. And speaking price point wise, the price is fair for this one. I know, me saying that for Chanel. It's an eau de toilette. Yes, I get that. But it's an eau de toilette that lasts a long time, and you're getting 125 mils or 4.25 ounces, which I have to say, I mean, that's not that bad for the price point. This is 150 US dollars for this size, and this is what the bottle looks like. So it's a very simple flask looking bottle. It is going to be a glass. It is curved on the sides. It's kind of giving you Les Exclusives vibes without giving you Les Exclusives vibes. It's a different shaped bottle, but I believe Chanel's old colognes used to come in this bottle, at least, or in a similar bottle to this. So like number 5 cologne, Cure de Russie cologne used to come in something similar to this. Let me know down in the comments if I am incorrect. You probably will. Anyways, and the lid, this is where I start to gripe. Plastic. Cheap plastic. I just don't get it. I mean, I am not a fan of that. I mean, it has a CCs on the outside, it has a CCs on the inside. The lid is not magnetic. It is, you have to pressurize it, and because of that, the little CCs will be all over the place. So you kind of have to, if you're OCD about this like I am, then you have to put it back into its spots. Other than that, nothing super big, nothing super, groundbreaking. On the back of the stickers, just like the Les Exclusives, you do get that information as to where the fragrance is manufactured, badge code, the sizing, all of that stuff on it. And weirdly enough, at the bottom, you get none of that information. You just get where it says Chanel. That's it. Chanel. So this range was launched by Olivier Polge, which is Jacques Polge's son, and this one itself was launched in 2018. I believe it was one of the original ones. I think it was it was Paris Duville, Paris Biarritz. There was, I think, 4 of them, 3 or 4 of them. I can't remember off the top of my head, but this one I think was one of the original ones that was launched in 2018. And this one is only listing a few notes, at least as main notes. We have Sicilian Mandarin and Lily of the Valley, and this fragrance, when you first spray it, gives you Chanel Chance Eau de Toilette vibes. That's what you kind of get off of it. It smells like that. It reminds you of it. It has that same style. It kind of has the warmth of Eau Vive, by Chanel. And you start to think, well, why did I get this if I already have the Chance, range of fragrances? But it's different. It adds a little bit more of that characteristic that makes it a little bit unique. It kind of has the vibe of the C note aquaticness in the actual fragrance. And that is probably because this fragrance has a lot of symbolism behind it. It's not just the name Biarritz. Biarritz was where Chanel opened her first couture house. I know someone's going to say, no, it's not. That was 31 Rue Cambon. 31 Rue Cambon was not a couture house. It was originally a millinery shop. And, she also had Deauville. But Biarritz is where she actually opened the first couture house. And it was a very strategic move because obviously all of the rich aristocrats used to vacation in Biarritz. And because of that, that's where she opened her first couture house. And allegedly, due to all the money she made at Biarritz, she was able to finally purchase 31 Rue Cambon. Purchase, not open, because it was already open, but she could purchase it outright, to have that retail space. This fragrance also kind of reminisces a little bit, on her really being inspired by Russian culture, because a lot of Russian aristocrats, vacation in Biarritz back when she did as well. It's going to give you a nod back at Cœur de Russie because it's kind of tied back into that history, but it's its own fragrance. This is just going to give you that atmosphere that, is so well known in Biarritz, at least in the time when Chanel was alive. So it's going to give you that zesty sparkliness of that mandarin, and that mandarin sparkles like a Chanel fragrance, true and true. It's like the sun reflecting on the ocean, and it just sparkles, at sunset. You get that vibe from it. You get a floral heart in here as well, and you also get some warmer citric elements in this fragrance. Like I said, similar to Eau Vive. It's not listed if it has blood orange in this fragrance, but if it did, I wouldn't be surprised. Maybe not as much as Eau Vive, but just a dash here and there. But this fragrance is very, very nice. It gives you resort vibes, and it kind of gives you vibes of Eden Rock by Christian Dior and Dior Riviera by Christian Dior. It's not better than Dior Riviera. It's better than Eden Rock. I will say that because Eden Rock has that nasty mineral note in it. But this one, also captivates that mineral sea air blowing into that little town in the hot summer days. You kind of get that breeze of the cool ocean, and then you also have that humidity and that sun reflecting on your skin and on the water. It's a very nice fragrance. I do have to say that. It is fairly potent for Eau de Toilette, which I have a very sneaky suspicion, this is just me, that they're going to really push this range a little bit more into the exclusive realm. I do like the fragrance, so I do think it's a very nice, fresh summer fragrance. I will say one thing though. If you already have Chance d'Eau de Toilette, try that and try to smell this next to it because they might smell very similar. I do like both of them for different reasons. I think Chance d'Eau de Toilette is a little bit more tart, if that makes any sense. It's not going to be as sparkly as this fragrance, but it's going to be a little bit more fizzy, if that makes any sense. And this one itself is definitely going to be very, very much a citric fragrance that has warmth to it, just like the sun warming you up at a beach town like Biarritz. So I like the scent. I think it's very nice. It's nice to collect it. That's not a reason to go out and purchase a fragrance. I get that. But to me, I think because this town is so symbolic to the House of Chanel, because obviously it's where her first couture house was opened, I think just because of that, it reckons a purchase. Will I wear this in the summertime? Probably. I think it's a nice scent. I think it's easygoing. I think you can, just spray this on and take it with you and, just really enjoy this summer. I think because of the warm citric elements in here, the fragrance will come alive with the sun and the heat of the summer. So I'm excited to try it outside, to see how it wears. I will obviously give you an update if you are interested in that. Let me know which of the Les Eaux fragrances you would like to see next on this channel. I really love to read your guys' comments and to see what fragrances you're actually interested in seeing reviews of, because I could just be buying here a bunch of fragrances that no one wants me to review, which I do that often. So don't forget to give the video a thumbs up and subscribe for more fragrance related content. Until next time, you guys, take care. Bye.